Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the power of our words. The way we communicate can shape not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. Speaking like a leader isn't just about authority, it's about vulnerability, authenticity, and connection. It's about showing up, being seen, and daring to share your truth, even when it feels uncomfortable. Authenticity is the cornerstone of effective leadership and meaningful communication. When we speak from a place of genuine truth, we not only empower ourselves, but also create a ripple effect that inspires others to do the same. This idea of authenticity goes beyond simply being honest. It involves embracing who we are, flaws, vulnerabilities, and all, and sharing that with the world. In today's fast-paced environment, there is often pressure to present a polished, perfect version of ourselves. Social media and workplace cultures can sometimes promote an image of success that feels unattainable and unrealistic. However, true leadership requires us to break free from these confines and allow our authentic selves to shine through. This is where the power of vulnerability comes into play. When leaders show their true selves, they create an environment where others feel safe to express their own fears, uncertainties, and aspirations. This authenticity fosters trust, which is essential for any healthy relationship, be it personal or professional. Consider the impact of sharing personal stories. When a leader opens up about their own struggles or mistakes, it humanizes them. It allows team members to see that they, too, are on a journey filled with challenges. For example, a manager might share a story about a failed project and what they learned from that experience. This act of sharing not only demonstrates humility, but also signals to others that it's okay to take risks and learn from failures. It breaks down barriers and encourages a culture of openness and growth. Authenticity in communication helps to clarify intentions. When we speak honestly, our words carry weight and meaning. People are more likely to engage with messages that resonate with their own experiences and emotions. When leaders communicate with authenticity, they can inspire shared vision and motivate their teams to work towards common goals. Authenticity breeds alignment. When people believe in the leader's message, they become more committed to the mission at hand. Another critical aspect of authenticity is the importance of consistency. Our words must align with our actions. If a leader advocates for transparency and collaboration but operates in secrecy or takes unilateral decisions, the disconnect will be evident. People are highly perceptive. They can sense when someone is not being genuine. This incongruence can lead to distrust and disengagement. To foster authenticity, leaders must embody the values and principles they promote. This consistency reinforces their credibility and encourages others to mirror that behavior. Embracing authenticity also means recognizing and owning our emotions. Emotions are powerful communicators, and when we acknowledge them, we invite others to do the same. A leader who expresses their feelings, whether it's excitement about a new initiative or frustration about a setback, creates a space where emotional honesty is valued. This, in turn, can lead to deeper connections and more effective teamwork. People are drawn to leaders who are real and relatable, and they are more likely to follow someone who understands the emotional landscape of their experiences. Incorporating authenticity into our communication also involves being mindful of our language. The words we choose can significantly impact how our message is received. Language that is inclusive, respectful, and empathetic fosters an environment where everyone feels valued. This is particularly important in diverse teams where individuals may come from various backgrounds and have different experiences. Acknowledging these differences through thoughtful communication can enhance collaboration and innovation. When people feel seen and heard, they are more likely to contribute their ideas and perspectives, enriching the conversation. It's also essential to recognize that authenticity is a continuous journey, not a destination. As we evolve, our understanding of ourselves and our values may shift. Being open to change and willing to adapt our communication styles accordingly is crucial. This adaptability doesn't mean compromising our authenticity, rather, it means being true to our evolving selves. Engaging in self-reflection and seeking feedback from others can help us stay aligned with our core values while remaining open to growth. Another aspect of authenticity is the courage to set boundaries. It's essential to know when to say no or when to take a step back. A leader who prioritizes their well-being and communicates those boundaries effectively demonstrates strength and self-awareness. This not only sets a positive example for others, but also reinforces the idea that self-care is an integral part of being an effective leader. When leaders model healthy boundaries, they encourage their teams to do the same, leading to a more balanced and sustainable work environment. Authenticity can have a profound impact on employee engagement and retention. When people feel that they can bring their whole selves to work, they are more likely to be satisfied and productive. Conversely, environments that stifle individuality can lead to disengagement and high turnover. By fostering an atmosphere of authenticity, leaders can create a culture where employees feel valued and motivated to contribute. This not only enhances morale, but also drives innovation, as people are more likely to share their creative ideas when they feel safe and accepted. Finally, authenticity in leadership is a powerful tool for building community. When leaders embody authenticity, they invite others to do the same, creating a collective environment where everyone feels empowered to express themselves. This sense of belonging can be transformative, fostering collaboration and driving collective success. As we navigate our personal and professional lives, let us remember that the most effective leaders are those who dare to be real, to be vulnerable, and to embrace their authentic selves. By doing so, they not only elevate their own leadership, but also inspire those around them to step into their truth. Active listening is one of the most vital skills a leader can possess. It goes beyond merely hearing words. It involves fully engaging with the speaker, understanding their message, and responding thoughtfully. In a world filled with distractions and competing priorities, the ability to listen actively is increasingly rare yet profoundly impactful. When leaders practice active listening, they not only enhance their own understanding, but also create an environment where team members feel valued, respected, and heard. At its core, active listening requires presence. It means giving the speaker your undivided attention, which is often more challenging than it seems. In meetings, for example, it can be tempting to multitask or let our minds wander while someone else is speaking. However, when we allow ourselves to be distracted, we miss critical insights, and more importantly, we communicate to the speaker that their words aren't important. This can erode trust and discourage open dialogue. By being fully present, we signal to our teams that what they have to say matters. Body language plays a significant role in active listening. Nonverbal cues such as maintaining eye contact, nodding, and leaning slightly forward convey engagement and interest. These signals help create a supportive atmosphere where individuals feel comfortable sharing their thoughts. Conversely, closed body language, such as crossing arms or looking away, can imply disinterest or judgment, discouraging open communication. Leaders who consciously use their body language to demonstrate engagement foster a sense of safety, encouraging team members to speak freely. Active listening involves asking clarifying questions. When leaders seek to understand by asking open-ended questions, they encourage deeper exploration of ideas. This not only enriches the conversation, but also shows the speaker that their input is valued. For instance, instead of simply nodding along, a leader might ask, "Can you elaborate on that point?" or "What challenges do you foresee in implementing this idea?" These questions invite further discussion and allow for a more comprehensive understanding of the topic at hand. Reflective listening is another critical component. This practice involves summarizing or paraphrasing what the speaker has said to confirm understanding. By reflecting back what we've heard, we demonstrate that we are truly listening and processing their words. For example, a leader might say, "So what I'm hearing is that you're concerned about the timeline for this project, and you believe it may impact the quality of our work." This not only reinforces understanding, but also provides an opportunity for correction if the speaker feels misrepresented. Active listening also requires emotional intelligence. It's essential to tune into the speaker's emotions and respond appropriately. This involves being aware of nonverbal cues such as tone of voice and facial expressions. If a team member seems anxious or frustrated, a leader can acknowledge those feelings and respond with empathy. A simple statement like, "I can see that this issue is causing you stress," can go a long way in validating the speaker's experience. This kind of emotional connection fosters trust and strengthens relationships, making it easier for team members to engage in future conversations. Creating an inclusive environment is another crucial aspect of active listening. In diverse teams, different voices and perspectives enrich discussions. Leaders must ensure that everyone has the opportunity to share their thoughts, especially those who might be more reserved. This may involve actively inviting quieter team members to contribute or being mindful of dominating the conversation. By encouraging participation from all voices, leaders not only gather a broader range of ideas, but also foster a sense of belonging. Another challenge in active listening is managing our own biases and assumptions. Often we may enter conversations with preconceived notions or judgments that can cloud our understanding. To listen actively, we must set aside these biases and approach each discussion with an open mind. This means being willing to challenge our own viewpoints and consider new perspectives. When leaders model this openness, they encourage their teams to do the same, cultivating a culture of curiosity and continuous learning. Active listening is also essential during conflict resolution. When disagreements arise, the temptation can be to defend one's position or jump to solutions. However, effective leaders recognize the importance of truly understanding the other person's perspective before trying to resolve the issue. By listening actively, leaders can uncover the root causes of the conflict and identify common ground. This thoughtful approach not only facilitates more effective resolutions, but also helps to preserve and strengthen relationships. Active listening enhances decision-making. When leaders listen carefully to input from their teams, they can gather valuable insights that inform their choices. A collaborative approach to decision-making rooted in active listening leads to better outcomes and increased buy-in from team members. When individuals feel their opinions have been considered, they are more likely to support the final decision, even if it doesn't align perfectly with their initial perspective. In today's hybrid work environment, the need for active listening is more critical than ever. Remote meetings can often feel disconnected, making it easy for team members to disengage. Leaders must be particularly intentional in their efforts to practice active listening in virtual settings. This could involve using tools like breakout rooms for smaller discussions, ensuring everyone has the opportunity to speak, or following up individually with team members who may not have had a chance to voice their thoughts. Finally, the practice of active listening must be a continuous commitment. Like any skill, it requires ongoing effort and reflection. Leaders should seek feedback on their listening habits and be open to making adjustments. By regularly assessing their own listening practices, they can grow and refine their skills, ultimately enhancing their effectiveness as communicators and leaders. Active listening is more than just a skill. It's a mindset rooted in respect, empathy, and engagement. When leaders prioritize active listening, they create an environment where team members feel valued and empowered. This not only strengthens relationships, but also fosters a culture of collaboration, innovation, and trust. In a world that often prioritizes speed over connection, the ability to listen actively can set leaders apart, enabling them to inspire and mobilize their teams toward success. Empathy and communication is a powerful and essential trait for effective leadership. It involves understanding and sharing the feelings of others, allowing leaders to connect on a deeper level with their teams. In an increasingly complex and diverse work environment, empathy can bridge gaps, foster collaboration, and enhance overall team dynamics. When leaders communicate with empathy, they create a culture where individuals feel valued, respected, and understood. At its core, empathy goes beyond mere sympathy. It requires a genuine effort to understand another person's perspective and experiences. This understanding is critical in a workplace setting where team members come from various backgrounds, cultures, and life experiences. Leaders who practice empathetic communication recognize that each person brings unique insights and feelings to the table. By acknowledging and validating these differences, leaders can cultivate an inclusive environment where everyone feels empowered to share their ideas and opinions. Active listening plays a significant role in empathetic communication. When leaders listen attentively to their team members, they can grasp not just the content of what is being said, but also the emotional undertones behind the words. This involves being present in the moment, asking clarifying questions, and providing feedback that reflects an understanding of the speaker's emotions. For example, if a team member expresses frustration about a project deadline, an empathetic leader might respond by saying, "I understand that this deadline is stressful for you. Let's discuss how we can better support you." This approach not only acknowledges the individual's feelings, but also opens the door to problem solving together. Expressing empathy involves sharing appropriate personal experiences. When leaders can relate their own challenges or vulnerabilities, it humanizes them and encourages team members to be open about their own feelings. For instance, a leader who shares a story about a time they struggled with balancing work and personal life can help others feel more comfortable discussing their own challenges. This mutual understanding fosters trust and connection, creating a supportive environment where individuals feel safe to express themselves. Empathetic communication is also crucial during times of conflict or disagreement. Leaders who approach conflicts with empathy are better equipped to facilitate productive discussions and resolutions. Instead of assigning blame or becoming defensive, they strive to understand the underlying concerns and emotions of all parties involved. This approach not only helps to de-escalate tensions, but also promotes a sense of collaboration and mutual respect. For instance, if two team members are at odds over a project approach, an empathetic leader might encourage a conversation where both parties can express their viewpoints and feelings, guiding them toward a common understanding. Empathy enhances feedback processes. When leaders provide constructive feedback with empathy, they frame their observations in a way that acknowledges the recipient's feelings and efforts. Instead of simply stating what needs improvement, an empathetic leader might say, "I appreciate the hard work you've put into this project, and I see the effort you've made. Here are some areas where we can enhance your impact." This approach not only softens the delivery of potentially difficult information, but also encourages a growth mindset, where team members feel supported rather than criticized. Empathy can significantly impact employee engagement and satisfaction. When individuals feel that their leaders genuinely care about their well-being and experiences, they are more likely to be committed to their work. This emotional connection translates into higher morale, increased motivation, and greater loyalty to the organization. Conversely, a lack of empathy can lead to disengagement, decreased productivity, and high turnover rates. Leaders who prioritize empathetic communication create a positive workplace culture that attracts and retains talent. Empathetic communication is particularly important in remote or hybrid work environments. The physical distance can sometimes exacerbate feelings of isolation, making it crucial for leaders to be intentional in their efforts to connect with team members. Regular check-ins, virtual coffee breaks, and open-door policies can help foster connections. Leaders should be proactive in reaching out to team members to inquire about their well-being, not just their work progress. This kind of outreach demonstrates that leaders care about their team members as individuals, which can significantly enhance team cohesion and collaboration. Empathy plays a critical role in fostering psychological safety. When team members believe that their thoughts and feelings will be received with empathy, they are more likely to speak up, share ideas, and take risks. This sense of safety encourages innovation and creativity as individuals feel empowered to contribute without fear of judgment or rejection. Leaders who model empathetic communication set the tone for their teams, cultivating an environment where everyone feels comfortable sharing their perspectives. Another vital aspect of empathetic communication is cultural sensitivity. In diverse teams, understanding and respecting cultural differences is paramount. Leaders should be aware of how cultural backgrounds can shape communication styles, values, and perceptions. By approaching conversations with an open mind and a willingness to learn, leaders can navigate cultural nuances and build stronger relationships with their team members. For example, acknowledging and celebrating different cultural holidays or practices can reinforce a sense of belonging and appreciation within the team. In the realm of decision-making, empathy can also provide valuable insights. When leaders take the time to consider the emotional and practical implications of their decisions on their team, they can make more informed choices. This empathetic approach helps leaders anticipate potential challenges or reactions, allowing them to communicate changes in a way that is considerate and supportive. For instance, if a leader needs to implement a new policy that may be unpopular, taking the time to explain the rationale and address concerns empathetically can ease transitions and enhance acceptance. Fostering a culture of empathy within an organization requires ongoing effort and commitment. Leaders should model empathetic behaviors consistently and encourage team members to practice the same. Training programs focused on emotional intelligence, communication skills, and conflict resolution can equip teams with the tools they need to engage empathetically. By embedding empathy into the organizational culture, leaders can create a sustainable environment where everyone feels valued and understood. Empathy in communication is a transformative leadership quality that can profoundly impact team dynamics and organizational culture. When leaders prioritize empathetic communication, they create a workplace where individuals feel safe, supported, and motivated to contribute their best. In a world that often feels disconnected, fostering empathy can be a powerful antidote, driving collaboration, innovation, and ultimately success. As we navigate the complexities of modern leadership, let us remember that empathy is not just a skill, but a fundamental element of effective communication that can elevate our connections and inspire our teams. Clarity and purpose in communication are fundamental aspects of effective leadership. When leaders articulate their thoughts and intentions clearly, they set the stage for collaboration, understanding, and motivation. Clarity allows team members to grasp the goals, expectations, and rationale behind decisions, fostering an environment where everyone feels aligned and empowered. In contrast, unclear communication can lead to confusion, frustration, and disengagement, ultimately undermining team effectiveness. At the heart of clear communication is the ability to distill complex ideas into simple, actionable messages. Leaders often deal with multifaceted challenges that require nuanced solutions. However, when presenting these ideas to their teams, it's crucial to avoid jargon and overly technical language that might alienate or confuse. Instead, leaders should strive to express their thoughts in straightforward terms that resonate with their audience. For instance, rather than using industry-specific terminology, a leader might say, "Our goal is to improve customer satisfaction by simplifying our service process. This kind of clarity ensures that everyone understands the objective and can contribute meaningfully." Establishing a clear purpose in communication also involves defining the why behind a message. When leaders articulate the reasons for their decisions or initiatives, they provide context that enhances understanding and buy-in. For example, if a leader implements a new policy, explaining the underlying rationale such as improving efficiency or addressing feedback can help team members appreciate the change rather than view it as arbitrary. This sense of purpose fosters a collective commitment to the mission and encourages individuals to align their efforts with organizational goals. Clarity in communication requires thoughtful organization. Presenting information in a logical sequence helps listeners follow along and grasp the key points. Leaders should consider structuring their messages by starting with the main idea, followed by supporting details, and concluding with a summary or call to action. This structured approach not only enhances comprehension but also allows team members to retain critical information. For example, during a team meeting, a leader might outline the agenda clearly at the beginning, ensuring that everyone knows what to expect and can engage accordingly. Visual aids can also play a significant role in enhancing clarity. Utilizing tools like charts, graphs, and slides can help illustrate complex concepts and data in an accessible way. Visual representations often make it easier for team members to digest information, facilitating discussions and decision-making. For instance, when presenting quarterly performance metrics, a leader might include a graph that visually highlights trends, enabling the team to quickly grasp the key takeaways. This combination of verbal and visual communication enhances understanding and retention. In addition to clarity, leaders must be mindful of their tone and body language. The way a message is delivered can significantly impact how it is received. A positive and open tone encourages engagement, while a dismissive or condescending tone can alienate team members. Similarly, nonverbal cues such as eye contact, facial expressions, and gestures play a critical role in reinforcing the spoken message. Leaders should be conscious of their body language and strive to project openness and receptivity. For example, leaning slightly forward and maintaining eye contact can signal that a leader is fully engaged and values the input of their team. Active listening also complements clarity in communication. When leaders actively listen to their team members, they can clarify misunderstandings and address any concerns. This two-way communication fosters an environment where individuals feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and asking questions. For instance, a leader might pause during a presentation to invite feedback or questions, reinforcing the idea that everyone's perspective is valuable. This practice not only enhances clarity but also promotes a culture of collaboration and shared ownership. Another essential aspect of clear communication is the ability to adapt messages to different audiences. Leaders often communicate with various stakeholders, each with their own levels of understanding and interest. Tailoring the message to the audience is crucial for ensuring that it resonates. For example, when communicating with executives, a leader might focus on high-level strategies and outcomes, while in discussions with team members, the focus might shift to specific tasks and individual roles. This adaptability demonstrates respect for the audience's needs and enhances the effectiveness of the communication. Clarity also involves setting clear expectations. When leaders define roles, responsibilities, and deadlines explicitly, they eliminate ambiguity and empower team members to take ownership of their work. This clarity is especially important in project management, where understanding individual contributions is crucial for achieving collective goals. For instance, during project kickoff meetings, a leader should outline each team member's specific responsibilities and how they contribute to the overall objective. This practice not only clarifies expectations, but also helps individuals feel accountable and invested in the project's success. Providing regular updates and feedback reinforces clarity. Leaders should keep their teams informed about progress, changes, and any challenges that arise. This ongoing communication helps maintain alignment and ensures that everyone is on the same page. When leaders provide constructive feedback, it should be specific and actionable, guiding team members on how to improve. For example, instead of saying, "You need to do better." A leader might say, "I'd like you to focus on enhancing your presentation skills by practicing in smaller groups before the next meeting." This clarity allows individuals to understand how they can grow and succeed. Emotional intelligence is another critical factor in ensuring clarity and purpose in communication. Leaders must be attuned to the emotions and reactions of their team members, as this awareness can inform their messaging. For example, if a team is facing significant stress due to tight deadlines, a leader may need to acknowledge these feelings and provide reassurance, framing the message in a way that shows understanding and support. This emotional connection can enhance the clarity of the communication by ensuring that team members feel heard and valued. Leaders should encourage a culture of feedback. By inviting team members to share their thoughts on communication practices, leaders can identify areas for improvement and adapt accordingly. This feedback loop not only enhances clarity but also empowers team members to take an active role in shaping how communication occurs within the team. For instance, a leader might ask for input after a presentation, saying, "What worked well for you and what could I improve for next time?" This practice not only demonstrates humility but also fosters a culture of continuous improvement. Clarity and purpose in communication are indispensable for effective leadership. When leaders communicate clearly and with intention, they set the stage for a cohesive and motivated team. By prioritizing clarity, adapting messages to diverse audiences, and fostering an environment of open dialogue, leaders can cultivate a culture where everyone feels aligned and empowered to contribute. In a world filled with complexity and uncertainty, the ability to communicate with clarity and purpose is a skill that can make all the difference in achieving collective success. Encouraging dialogue within a team is essential for fostering a culture of collaboration, innovation, and mutual respect. In today's dynamic work environment, where diverse perspectives are crucial for problem solving and creativity, leaders must prioritize creating spaces where open communication thrives. Dialogue is not merely a series of exchanges, it is a collaborative process that promotes understanding, enhances relationships, and drives collective success. When leaders encourage dialogue, they empower team members to share their ideas, challenge assumptions, and engage in constructive discussions that lead to better outcomes. At its core, dialogue involves a willingness to listen and learn from one another. Unlike debate, which often centers on winning an argument, dialogue emphasizes understanding different viewpoints. This shift in focus is essential for effective teamwork. Leaders can model this approach by actively inviting input from all team members and demonstrating genuine curiosity about their thoughts and experiences. For example, during meetings, a leader might pose open-ended questions like, "What are your thoughts on this approach?" Or, "How do you see this impacting your work?" Such questions not only solicit diverse perspectives, but also show that every voice matters. Creating an environment conducive to dialogue requires intentionality. Leaders should establish norms that promote open communication and respect. This can involve setting ground rules for discussions, such as no interrupting, being open to differing viewpoints, and actively listening without judgment. By laying this groundwork, leaders create a safe space where team members feel comfortable sharing their ideas and concerns. This sense of safety is vital. When individuals feel respected and valued, they are more likely to contribute authentically. In addition to fostering a respectful atmosphere, leaders must also be aware of their own communication styles. How leaders frame their messages can significantly influence team dynamics. For instance, using inclusive language that invites participation, such as "we" and "us," can help reinforce a sense of belonging and collaboration. Conversely, language that appears directive or authoritative may stifle open dialogue. By being mindful of their word choices and tone, leaders can create a more inviting space for discussion. Active listening is another critical component of encouraging dialogue. Leaders must demonstrate their commitment to understanding others by truly engaging with what team members say. This involves not only hearing the words but also interpreting the underlying emotions and intentions. When leaders practice active listening by nodding, maintaining eye contact, and asking follow-up questions, they signal to team members that their contributions are valued. For example, if a team member expresses a concern about a project, a leader might respond by saying, "I appreciate you bringing that up. Can you tell me more about what specifically worries you?" This type of engagement invites deeper exploration and strengthens the dialogue. Leaders should actively seek diverse perspectives. In a multicultural work environment, different backgrounds can lead to varying viewpoints and solutions. By encouraging team members to share their unique experiences and insights, leaders can foster a richer dialogue that enhances creativity and innovation. This might involve intentionally inviting contributions from quieter team members or using structured methods like brainstorming sessions or roundtable discussions to ensure everyone has a chance to participate. Creating opportunities for all voices to be heard helps build a more inclusive and dynamic team culture. Dialogue can also be nurtured through informal interactions. While formal meetings are essential, casual conversations often yield valuable insights and strengthen relationships. Leaders can create opportunities for informal dialogue by organizing team-building activities, social events, or even casual coffee chats. These interactions help break down hierarchical barriers and encourage team members to connect on a personal level. When team members feel comfortable engaging with one another outside of formal settings, they are more likely to communicate openly during work-related discussions. Another important aspect of encouraging dialogue is being open to feedback. Leaders should cultivate a culture where feedback is seen as a constructive tool for growth rather than criticism. This can involve soliciting input on team processes, decision-making, and leadership styles. When leaders demonstrate receptiveness to feedback, they model the behavior they wish to see in their teams. For example, after a project concludes, a leader might initiate a reflection session, asking what worked well and what could we improve for next time. This practice encourages team members to engage in dialogue about their experiences and fosters a continuous improvement mindset. Recognizing and celebrating contributions can further enhance dialogue. When team members feel acknowledged for their input, they are more likely to engage in future discussions. Leaders can publicly recognize individuals for their innovative ideas or effective collaboration, reinforcing the value of dialogue within the team. Celebrating successes, both big and small, helps build a positive atmosphere where dialogue is seen as a vital part of the team culture. In times of conflict or disagreement, encouraging dialogue becomes even more critical. Rather than shying away from difficult conversations, effective leaders address conflicts head-on by facilitating open discussions. This approach allows team members to express their concerns, clarify misunderstandings, and work toward resolutions collaboratively. A leader might say, "Let's take a moment to explore the different viewpoints on this issue. How can we find common ground?" This proactive approach not only diffuses tension but also fosters a sense of teamwork and shared responsibility for outcomes. Leveraging technology can enhance dialogue, especially in remote or hybrid work environments. Virtual collaboration tools such as video conferencing, chat platforms, and project management software can facilitate ongoing communication and dialogue among team members. Leaders should encourage the use of these tools to maintain connections and promote continuous discussions, even when face-to-face interactions are not possible. For instance, setting up dedicated channels for brainstorming ideas or sharing feedback can keep the lines of communication open and encourage participation. Providing training and resources on effective communication skills can equip team members with the tools they need to engage in meaningful dialogue. Workshops on active listening, conflict resolution, and facilitation techniques can enhance the overall communication culture within the team. When team members are skilled in these areas, they can contribute more effectively to discussions and foster an environment where dialogue flourishes. Measuring the effectiveness of dialogue initiatives can help leaders identify areas for improvement. Regularly soliciting feedback from team members about their experiences with communication and dialogue can provide valuable insights into what is working and what needs adjustment. This iterative approach not only enhances the dialogue process, but also demonstrates a commitment to continuous improvement. Encouraging dialogue is essential for effective leadership and team dynamics. When leaders prioritize open communication, they create an environment where diverse perspectives are valued and collaboration thrives. By fostering respect, practicing active listening, and embracing feedback, leaders can cultivate a culture of dialogue that enhances creativity, innovation, and collective success. In an ever-evolving work landscape, the ability to engage in meaningful dialogue is a skill that can transform teams and drive organizations toward their goals. Embracing vulnerability in communication is a transformative aspect of leadership that can significantly enhance relationships, foster trust, and create an environment conducive to growth and collaboration. Vulnerability involves being open about one's feelings, experiences, and challenges, which can be daunting for many leaders accustomed to projecting strength and confidence. However, when leaders choose to embrace vulnerability, they create authentic connections with their teams, paving the way for more effective communication and a more cohesive organizational culture. At its core, vulnerability means acknowledging that no one has all the answers and that everyone, including leaders, faces struggles and uncertainties. When leaders openly share their own challenges or mistakes, it humanizes them and allows team members to see that they, too, are part of a shared journey. For example, a leader might recount a time when they faced a setback in a project, explaining what they learned from the experience. This openness not only builds rapport, but also encourages team members to share their own struggles, fostering a culture of honesty and support. One of the most powerful outcomes of embracing vulnerability is the establishment of trust within the team. Trust is a foundational element of effective teamwork, and when leaders model vulnerability, they signal that it is safe to be authentic and express oneself. This creates an atmosphere where team members feel comfortable taking risks, sharing ideas, and admitting when they need help. When individuals trust their leaders, they are more likely to engage fully, contribute their best work, and support one another. Vulnerability can be a catalyst for innovation. In environments where individuals feel safe to express their ideas, even those that may seem unconventional or risky, creativity flourishes. Leaders who share their own uncertainties or seek input on challenging decisions invite diverse perspectives that can lead to innovative solutions. For instance, during a brainstorming session, a leader might say, "I'm struggling with how to approach this issue. I'd love to hear your thoughts." This not only encourages dialogue, but also empowers team members to contribute their insights without fear of judgment. Active listening is another crucial aspect of vulnerability in communication. When leaders practice active listening, they demonstrate their commitment to understanding their team members' perspectives and feelings. This involves not only hearing what is being said, but also being attuned to the emotions behind the words. Leaders can ask open-ended questions, reflect on what they hear, and show empathy towards their team members' experiences. For example, if a team member expresses anxiety about an upcoming deadline, a leader might respond with, "I understand this deadline is causing you stress. Let's talk about how we can alleviate some of that pressure." Such responses reinforce the idea that vulnerability is a two-way street, where both leaders and team members can express their feelings and concerns. Vulnerability encourages a growth mindset. Leaders who embrace vulnerability acknowledge that mistakes are opportunities for learning and improvement. When leaders model this mindset, they encourage their teams to adopt a similar approach. Instead of fearing failure, team members begin to view challenges as chances to grow and develop. For example, after a project doesn't go as planned, a leader might initiate a discussion about what went wrong and how the team can learn from the experience. This kind of dialogue promotes resilience and encourages individuals to take on new challenges with confidence. It is also important to recognize that vulnerability is not synonymous with weakness. Many people mistakenly believe that showing vulnerability will undermine their authority or credibility. In reality, vulnerability can enhance a leader's effectiveness. By demonstrating authenticity and openness, leaders can inspire others to do the same. This creates a ripple effect throughout the organization, where individuals feel empowered to share their thoughts and feelings, leading to deeper connections and more productive interactions. Encouraging vulnerability can also be particularly impactful in diverse teams. In multicultural environments, individuals may have different comfort levels with expressing vulnerability based on cultural norms. Leaders should be sensitive to these differences and foster a climate where everyone feels safe to share their experiences. By inviting team members to discuss their unique backgrounds and perspectives, leaders can promote inclusivity and understanding, enriching the dialogue within the team. Another important aspect of embracing vulnerability is acknowledging the emotional labor that often accompanies leadership. Leaders face numerous pressures, including the responsibility for their team's performance and well-being. By openly discussing their own emotional challenges and seeking support, leaders model self-care and encourage their teams to do the same. This not only fosters a supportive environment, but also helps to reduce burnout and promote overall well-being. For instance, a leader might share their own strategies for coping with stress, inviting team members to share theirs as well, creating a collective understanding of the importance of mental health. Vulnerability can strengthen relationships between leaders and their teams. When leaders take the time to connect on a personal level, it enhances the bond within the group. This can involve sharing personal stories, interests, or even challenges outside of work. These moments of connection create a sense of belonging and camaraderie, which can significantly impact team morale and motivation. For example, a leader who shares their passion for a hobby or discusses family experiences can foster a more personal connection with team members, making them feel valued beyond their professional contributions. In the context of change management, vulnerability plays a crucial role in guiding teams through transitions. Change often brings uncertainty, and leaders who openly communicate their own apprehensions or uncertainties can help normalize these feelings among their team members. By acknowledging that change is difficult and that it's okay to feel uneasy, leaders create a supportive atmosphere where individuals can voice their concerns and work through them collaboratively. For instance, during a major organizational change, a leader might say, "I know this transition can be unsettling, and I'm feeling it too. Let's talk about our concerns and how we can support one another." This approach reinforces unity and resilience during challenging times. Embracing vulnerability can also enhance a leader's self-awareness. By reflecting on their own experiences, emotions, and areas for growth, leaders can develop a deeper understanding of themselves and their impact on others. This self-awareness is vital for effective leadership, as it allows leaders to identify their strengths and areas for improvement. Engaging in vulnerability encourages ongoing personal development and sets an example for team members to pursue their growth journeys. Embracing vulnerability in communication is a powerful tool for leaders seeking to foster trust, collaboration, and innovation within their teams. By openly sharing their experiences and emotions, leaders can create an environment where individuals feel safe to express themselves and contribute authentically. This culture of vulnerability not only enhances relationships, but also drives team engagement, creativity, and resilience. In a world that often prioritizes certainty and control, the courage to be vulnerable stands out as a hallmark of effective leadership that can transform organizations and inspire teams to reach their full potential. Speak Like a Leader emphasizes the profound impact of effective communication on leadership. By embracing empathy, clarity, vulnerability, and encouraging open dialogue, leaders can cultivate an environment that fosters trust, collaboration, and innovation. Each of these elements plays a vital role in enhancing relationships within teams, enabling individuals to feel valued and empowered. As leaders, we have the opportunity to inspire and motivate those around us by modeling these communication principles. When we communicate with purpose and authenticity, we not only strengthen our own leadership, but also pave the way for collective success. Let us commit to speaking like leaders, transforming our teams and organizations into places where everyone can thrive and contribute their best.